Hello and welcome. I'm Gwendolyn Harrett, Product Manager for Content Manager. Today we're going to look at a new feature in 23.3, which allows users of the Content Manager web UI to edit information without ever having to download it to their desktops. So right now, as a user of the Content Manager web UI, I've gone into my favorite records. And because my task today is to edit some contracts, I've adapted the grid view accordingly. So I've displayed contract ID and customer name. And of course, I can use this grid view to show any information I may need, like security classification back there. As a reminder, this is customizable. So if I wanted to bring security further up, I could do that. I can change the order of items. And I can also decide to add metadata from the list onto the selected columns if I wish to do so. So depending on the task at hand, I may wish to change my view. What we're going to do today is we're going to show how the new feature of 23.3 allows us to edit this information. I've added the checked out and the revision number columns so that you can easily understand how this new feature works. So you can see, for example, I have some information that's already checked out. Most of it's checked in and ready to be worked on, and we have different revision numbers, so different quantities of revisions for these different documents. So let's select this document here. This is a contract for a big company. You know that I can view this. I can see my big company contract and any previously existing revisions I can view using this pane here. So obviously I chose a different client and changed some of the information. So this document is now checked in with those two revision numbers. Let's use the new feature, which is this WebDAV icon here, to check it out and edit it without ever leaving the web UI. Because it's a Word document, it's asking me to open Word. This opens up my big company contract in Word. You can see up here I've got the Content Manager integration. Now let's add a new clause, for example. So let's say that there's some new information that I want to input into this contract, nice and visible. Now I suddenly have an urgent meeting scheduled and I can't continue to finish working on this. I can just close, remember to save, obviously. And now it knows that that document is checked out and being worked on, even though I've closed Word. So you can see the checkout option has now disappeared, the download one, but obviously I can continue to edit. So if I wanted to go back to that, continue to work on it, I can just select the WebDAV option again, continue to open Word again, and it has saved my work. So it's kept that in memory. So now I can continue to work on this, finish what I wanted to do, and this time save it for the final time. So I can do that as many times as I want, and it will continue to say that it's checked out, being worked on, but the revision number doesn't go up because none of those changes have been checked back into CM. So again, if I were to view the document, I'm still seeing what we had before. But if I open it up in WebDAV, those changes are kept. Finally, when I'm ready to check them into CM, I can click Check In. I'm going to make a new revision, and I'm going to say additional clause added. Of course, I could choose to discard any modifications if I wanted to just check that in and forget any of the changes I'd made, or I could add the changes I've made but keep the document checked out if I wanted to. But for now, we're done with our work, so we're just going to check that in, and we can see the revision number has now gone up. So now if I go and view that document, that extra clause, that additional info is there, and again, I can always go back and forth as before with the revisions to view past work. So this works for various document types. So I can show you, for example, for a text file. Here we have a Company X contract draft. If we view it, it's pretty empty. It just asks us to edit this document. So again, if I selected this and select WebDAV, it basically opens up the text, Personal information is here. I can add more information, close it, save it. We're now in the exact same situation as previously where the item's checked out, but the revision number has not gone up. We still have our same original document. And now if I check this back in, make a new revision, check it in, it's now checked in and it's gone up to 3. And again, the changes are now available. You can, of course, continue to use your old checkout if you liked the ability to download and if you have the permission to do so. But of course, as an organization, you could make the choice to remove the checkout and to simply have the web, so no information gets downloaded onto the user's desktop. And finally, don't forget that we do have the Microsoft 365 integration. Here would be the OneDrive icon, for example, if I wanted to check that out into OneDrive instead. So we have many different ways that users can work on the information without ever having to leave their web browser. Thank you very much.